Team Affinity 2 has officially launched today, and this is going to be the fastest way to get it done. Now, I do want to mention that these methods are going to be off of the old ways to do it. I don't expect any new ways to be added to finish Team Affinity, and I don't expect a lot of the values to change either for completing things. So let's get right into it. What is the fastest way to get Team Affinity 2 done? So the first thing you're going to want to do, as for any program out there, you're going to want to do the moments first. The moments are usually pretty quick, pretty easy to do, and just like they were last season, I mean, you saw about 1,000 rewards per division. Each division, you can get about 5,000 XP on it. Although that does not seem like a lot, it is still a kind of decent start point to get you started. Also, keep in mind, like in the last season, the first pack that you're going to get is that AL East or NL East or whatever division you start with pack that gives you gold and diamond cards. So these cards can actually start you out on missions if you want to use them at events, offline, or anything like that. Next thing up, I would recommend doing, and hopefully they bring back the repeatable ones, but the next thing to do is the Showdown. The Showdown you can get done within an hour, and it is something that's actually fairly simple. As we saw for this year's Team Affinity with the Showdowns, you play maybe anywhere from 5 to 8 missions back to back to back, and you just get them done. It's a free 15,000 XP. You typically get a lot of outs to do it. You get good cards to hit with, and ultimately it's just a really easy way to get free XP. After the Showdown, of course, you're going to want to do the Conquest as well for each division or for each set of divisions. Now, these are also fairly easy to do as well. I would expect anywhere from 5 to 7 games per map. Again, nothing really too crazy. You can play it on any difficulty that you'd like. Now, keep in mind, you're also going to be getting XP for playing these, which applies to the season XP path. Next up, and probably the most effective method that you're going to use in this, Next up, and probably the most effective thing that you could use to get TA2 done is March to October. Now, March to October does usually take a little bit longer, but as you can see here, if you play on All-Star, you get an average of 80,000 TA for winning the World Series. Now, if they base it like they did last season, TA1, as you can see at the top of the screen there, 150,000 is the max. So you only have to play it once, maybe twice, depending what you're doing for other stuff. And even after getting it done that one time, you get a lot of cards on top of that, which helps you with sets. It helps you with the reward path. There are so many different ways that you can get these things done, but March to October, honestly, time effectiveness is probably the best way to do it. Now, the other good method to do it is through mini-seasons. Now, mini-seasons does have a glitch where rosters could be invalid, which cause you to reset your season. Now, the only reason why I'm not recommending mini-seasons is specifically for that. But if you do the TA for mini-seasons, you get 4,000 XP per voucher. I believe you get anywhere from 5 to 10 vouchers each time you win the World Series in the mini-seasons Team Affinity area. Now, again, until this glitch is fixed, I am not confident in telling y'all to get this done through mini seasons. Now, if you want to do it and you want to take that risk, because it does take less time than March to October, by all means, go right for it. But this glitch could happen at any point. It could happen in your first game, or it could happen in your last World Series game, and the only way to fix it is by resetting the season and restarting. One thing I would actually recommend doing is the exchanges, unless for some reason you just have a million of every type of card in the game. The exchanges really don't offer that many good rewards. As you can see, for 100,000 XP worth of players, you get 2,500 TA. For 200,000, you get 5,000 TA, and then for 400,000, you get 10,000. It's honestly just not worth it unless you have just that many cards to scrap. However, at the same time, you could also sell those cards and end up making a lot of stubs off of that, so I would actually prefer you to do that than to exchange them and lose the cards forever. Now, if you don't feel like doing anything like the Showdowns, the Conquest, March or October, or any sort of mini-seasons voucher type of situation, what you could do now are the missions. You could start with the Captain and the Henchman missions. Those are usually pretty simple to do. It's just collect a certain amount of stat. Like, for example, what we have so far with Captain Rutschman. Just get 5 extra base hits with him. You get a free 3,500 XP. Now, these add up very quickly. The only negative to them is that they're not repeatable, and they give you a decent amount, but there's only 5 of them, so it kind of caps you out at around 15 to 20,000. Once you get these done, you're going to have to find a different method to get it. Now, if you do play a lot of BR, this is a great way to score this. However, but if you play 2,500 XP with eligible players of a team, whether it be, I believe for this one it was Season 1. Season 2 will probably be the next one for TA2. But if you have 2,500 XP with, for example, Orioles players, this is one of those things where you could do this as many times as you want. You could play offline, you could play online. You just spam 2,500 PXP with each type of team or each player, and you get a free 5,000 XP every single time you do it. Not really the most time efficient. This can be a little bit of a pain sometimes, but this is a decent alternative if you don't feel like doing a Conquest, Showdown, March to October, or mini seasons. So that's going to be the fastest way to get TA2 done. Not only do you get the really good cards from Team Affinity itself, but you're also able to get the really nasty bosses that come for the Set 2 collection, because these cards will count for that. Now, this is a really good way to start. They might add a collection early on if you have like a certain amount of Team Affinity 1. I don't think Team Affinity 1 is going to be a requirement to do Team Affinity 2. However, I do think you are going to get a decent boost if you have completed Team Affinity 1 or you have a certain amount of Team Affinity 1 cards. I think that'd be a really good way for them to do it. People kind of stop complaining, oh, like, you know, it's not too long. And I think it's really just a really good way to jumpstart how a Team Affinity should go, especially since one already exists. But that's going to be all for today's video, y'all. As always, I appreciate you guys for taking a look at this. Have a fantastic day. Please leave a comment in this video what your favorite Team Affinity card is and what boss you're going to be choosing first. Please be sure to like and sub to the channel as well. We get a lot more MLB The Show 23 content coming your way. Have a fantastic day, y'all. I'll catch you in the next one.